Another NARL video for you. Again, please like and subscribe if you like the videos, but if not, I won't hold it against you, but thank you very much for watching. It's just a little follow-up from yesterday's big announcement. It was fantastic because I found something in the Toronto Sun. Eric Perez, the person who founded Toronto Wolfpack and also the Ottawa Aces, has been speaking to the Toronto Sun about the NARL expansion and its hope to add Canadian content. And this is what he actually got to say about it. He was quite boisterous about it, but very surprised and very engaging. We weren't looking for this. They came to us and wanted us in, said Perez. There was no hesitation when they told us the business plan and the cities involved. Excuse me. Every time I'm going to burp on these videos, every single time, I guarantee it. I apologise in massively amounts. So back to what Eric was saying. Their commercial deals they're putting together, they're going to be a big player. Perez hailed the birth of the league as revolutionary for the sport. This is the biggest thing to happen to rugby in North America, he said. To this point, the Wolfpack to Super League have been the biggest thing. This has taken over. It's a proper professional league in real markets, and hopefully we'll be the best team in it. He's setting out a stall of what he wants straight away, isn't he? I think it could rival Super League very soon. Within 5 to 10 years, we could be the best rugby league in the Northern Hemisphere. Like I said yesterday, Rugby League, Super League, they're coming for you. And you better change your policies. I'm not kidding. If Eric's involved, he's created 2 teams out of nothing. He averaged, don't matter what the ticket situation is, doesn't matter. He got faces through the door. It was like 10,000, almost 10,000 people every single game at Toronto, and he's looking to create that again at Ottawa. If he can do that for both teams, Ottawa Aces and the Ottawa team that's going to be involved in the NARL, well, it's a no-brainer. You've got to realise that this is a threat to Super League, so they have got to get it going. Emphasis there. That's what I was doing there. So back to the statement. I knew if I stuck with this thing, it'd be worth it, he says about Rugby League. We launched last March, and 2 days later the world was engulfed in the coronavirus, talking about his launch with the Ottawa Aces. All sports stopped. Our entire existence has been during the pandemic. It's hard if you're trying to do a new team no matter what the sport is. When something like that happens, you can't get bums on seats, so you can't bring in the revenue, you can't bring the corporate sponsorship because you've got eyes on your product. What more can you want? So the fact this is able to happen during that is big. It ensures our future stability. I'm delighted to introduce the North American Rugby League to Rugby League fans around the world in what we firmly believe is the biggest evolutionary step for Rugby League, said Robert Curtis. I know I said Richard Curtis on the second attempt yesterday, so I clear that up. So they're looking to advance further. For instance, Montreal, Vancouver, and also other places such as Atlantic Canada. That's what the NARL are trying to do. While the two Canadian sides won't enter the Eastern Conference until 2022, they're beginning to build a roster in the next few months, and they're expected to hold a Toronto versus Ottawa Canadian Cup competition, maybe in August, at the TD Place with no fans. That'd be a downside. A great sport with two opposing fans from them two big cities. The 25,000 that they got for the Great Britain versus was it England versus New Zealand? I can't remember. I'll have to look in. Remember what that is. Will pale in comparison. 30, 40, 50,000. The sport's mad. There's such a sports mad sound because 10 years ago the Toronto Raptors weren't around. Now they're one of the biggest sides in the NBA. So, a bit more. Why mess around wondering if we can have a crowd or not? Let's just do it without fans. That's what they're talking about, the cup. It's really more an opportunity for us to pick our team. So they are focusing that as a major friendly. So if a Wolfpack team turns up and turns them over, and they're going into the NARL, the Toronto team is going to be the favourites for that first league in the second year's league, because they're not going into it the first year. So it's at TD Place, which is a nice little stadium. It's not going to be like Lamport Stadium either. I had a cup of tea a few months ago, so apologies. I have to have a cup of tea at about 7 o'clock. So the Ottawa side will be mostly Canadians of the 25-man squad. 15 to 18 of them could be Canadians. There will be also a few elite international players. So they're going to make they've made some signings. If you have a look on their YouTube, they've got all the faces down there. You can run through them. Follow Ottawa Aces on YouTube, please. They're a good team. They will be a good team. Taken over from the Hamel Hampstead Stags, so they've got to fulfil that. Hopefully they will be able to fulfil that entire roster, and also take it those 2 steps further. They've got form. Well, the chairman has, the person who created the team, so who says that they can't do it again? Anyway, Laurent Fregenou, is it? Is the coach there? I apologise if I butchered that name completely incorrectly. So let's get it. I will get that right in the future. But he's also the French national team coach. So going back to the quota, what Ottawa side is going to be, 75% of our team will be Canadian. Hopefully most will be local. So they're going around all Canada trying to form that team, and that means that for the work permit thing, I think work permit side, I think they're going through visitors, which you can get up to a year doing it and reapplying a year to do that. So instead of the new laws over here where they've got to be sponsored if they're going to be based over here, but it looks like Ottawa are going to be based over there as much as they are over here, but they're going to be classed as visitors rather than tax-paying, sponsored visitors, sponsored workers. Sorry. Anyway, that was something that was going to happen with the RFL team. I think people in Ottawa will love this, and it's going to be huge. We want to see the sport take root in Canada, and are determined to help showcase Canadian athletic and sporting talent on the field in any effort to do so. That's what Ottawa Aces General Manager Gareth Reid has said. We'll be picking up our recruitment efforts immediately, and we want to make the Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec a major hotbed of Canadian rugby league and talent development. I know that there are a few local rugby league communities teams. So I'm just reading a little bit more. I don't know if anyone could be disappointed talking about the local rugby community, thinking this league will be a notch below the rugby league, the RFL. Instead of playing in places you really haven't heard of before. If you're a rugby league fan, you understand why that's been a hotbed of discussion when it comes to the Canadian teams. Brian McDermott exclusively says it's got to be big cities to grow the game. So, yeah, that's why I want teams like Coventry Bears to be successful. London Broncos, your team is what the football term for relegating and promoting teams. I hope that they don't come to that. I hope they get promoted and stay there for quite some time. Because the potential is there, and plus they're moving to Plough Lane in Wimbledon. I know they're a bit contentious about that. Well, that's what we're hearing at this moment. That's the intention to do so. I'll be clear on that. I hope it goes through, because if they get a permanent base with a decent sized stadium, that gives them a decent amount of crowd and a decent amount of income. They can produce the team, because there's players that have come through their academy, like Sargentson at Salford. There are a few Londoners that have come through. Louis MacArthur Scarsbrook is a Londoner. There's some good players out there that have won major tournaments in this country and have come through London. May not be a direct route, might be through Scholars, might be through Broncos, might be through moving up here and playing Tony Club. I think I'm right. He's another Londoner. So, yeah, they've got rugby union down there. If union rugby union hotbed. Sorry, I'm a bit nuts when it comes to them saying we're rugby. Anyway. Yes, it is Laurent Freixenet. I got that right, because he's had a mention in this article as well. Going back to, first of all, the GM, Gareth Reid. He said, instead of playing in places you haven't really heard of, we'll be playing in Atlanta, Boston, San Diego, New York, Toronto, Cleveland, Phoenix. It's an opportunity for local guys. We couldn't have played more locals the other way around. With RFL, there are questions. When are we going to travel over there? It could happen next year, or it could be the year after. So they're saying possibly 2023 now. So right now it's in flux. This league is not in flux, so they could use the American League in the second tier as warm-up games for the big teams. So there's team tryouts coming. It could be in July. Laurent Freixenet is going to be there, and he'll walk up and he will work with them leading up to the Canada Cup against the Wolfpack. I'm very excited for the expansion of the sports of Freixenet. The North American sports market is immense, as I mentioned yesterday. We have big crowds to watch professional rugby league in Canada, and will continue to grow. I'm really looking forward to identifying and working with some exceptional athletes for this new and exciting project. Yeah, that was something that I picked up from the Toronto Sun yesterday. Go find the article, torontosun.com. Give them the click so that the newspaper knows that you're reading it, and also they might show up at games. Pictures, newspaper articles helps grow the game. Anyway, I've been Anthony. Enjoy the rest of your night. See you now. Bye.